Okay, here we go. Rescan. I gotta go back in here. How do I want to do? I don't want to edit. I just want. Even tell me don't got doggone cold light here again. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Okay, you guys. I think so. We getting back into it. Same show. Come on, boy. Hold on now. What is thing at? Here, let's go. Hey guys. Ooh. Let me get the show back up in here where we are at. No. We are here. Come on, chat. Wait a minute. Come on, we are here. Let's go. Oh, hold on a second. Let's hold on. Oh. Okay, now stop here. Now let me get back over here. Let me get right here on the trial. Hey, everybody, I'm coming back. I'm getting right here on the trial. Okay, I got that there. Oh, boy, this thing, it is getting rough, y'all. I'm telling you, man, it get rough over in here. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let me bring you guys up to par of what I know. Come on. Here we go. And we got our studio on. Now we're gonna share it. Let's see let me see, did I get it right? Okay, we are back. Welcome everybody. Let me see how we doing over here. I don't know where y'all at over here. Let me go. Y'all should, everybody should be right here. Everybody should be right here together. Okay, we are back from lunch. Where are we? Okay, everybody, we are here. We are back from, we are from Rescreen. We are at from Rescreen to at YouTube. Okay. Child, don't ask me how I do it. Sometimes I can do these things good, and sometimes I don't know. Anyway, you guys, please thumb up my video. We are in day 3 of Georgia versus Colin. Simply the fact that he have allegedly have gave his child a firearm to take to school, and his son went and take in 2024 went unalive 4 kids. So anyway, this is the case that the father is on trial. Let me put this in my ear. I need to go and get some of this. What? Easy right now. So what you see is this case here is the father is on trial in the fact that he was the firearm giver to his child. Okay, you do have y'all. We do have parents act like that. Welcome everybody. We do have parents that act like that love their kids so much. Sometimes that their kids would do things that what the parent always want to do. Okay. So anyway, I thought they came back for lunch, but they basically like moving around, and we soon will get back started here. Welcome you guys. Please like my video, share me out. I am Dolby Milton, your host. You are in the Scooter Lounge. Oh, that's them. Child, I was thinking that I got something over there in the rotisserie. I thought it was that beating down something. Here we go. Welcome everybody. Please thumb up the video and share it out. Here we go.
Opportunity to look through all the photographs again. We had made a list of the ones we might have problems with being duplicitous. 2 or 3 of them have some writing on them. I don't know how the court wants to handle that. If you want me to write you out a list and you can look at those if you think are duplicitous, make a ruling on those before we get to them. Whatever procedure you feel like you want to do, but we do have some.
And you're objecting to the admission of them or the publication?
The publication of them to the jury because they're duplicitous. Some are not even probably, I don't even know how they're in there. So.
How many are we talking about?
Probably about 15, 18.
Has the state seen his list or have y'all
I have
talked about the
not.
issue at all?
I haven't given it to them because it just came back out and looked at
Yeah.
a couple of others. I can write that list out, give it to them, they can look at it, and I can give you a copy.
Let's start there, and if they may consent to some of it, and that can narrow it, if not, then that's fine. Is the thrust of the argument unnecessarily cumulative or?
Pretty much, good.
Oh, no, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
This is a lawyer. Just in case they don't bring anything up there, you got a point.
So,
Ms. Daniel, let me ask, so were you going through pictures first, or were you going through the scan?
we're going through the scan first, but the video is only about 10 minutes.
Okay.
We'll probably pause a few times to give some context, but I don't know. If you're asking for efficiency's sake, I don't know if bringing
Well, I
it
was
for
just-
that's really gonna.
If we're about to have an hour of testimony
Right,
before we
right.
get to the pictures, then I was gonna say we can just go ahead and start and
Yes, sir.
take a little break. 10 minutes in, and we can address it now.
Sure.
Or to go and just tell them I'm addressing an issue that will be a.
I did.
This is the gentleman right here. That's the father of the kid that did the shooting. Let me tell me that. Lord, what time it is? I gotta go. I don't want to work out there in that cold no more. But I'm gonna have to step out there. Cause it look like it's going to rain again. Let me go back out here. Excuse me, you guys. I got to go back and sleep.
14 that I just provided to the state.
Okay.
It's mostly duplicious and a couple that have writings on them, a couple that don't have any photo value.
Give me a minute to look that.
Court like for me to provide you a copy of that too.
You gave her the list, yes, Daniel, I can take it from her, well, you have it already written out?
No.
Here, I'll just take a picture of it, Judge, and I can hand you the original.
He's very technical, not iPhone 2, won't do that.
Very successful. When you say, when you say same, do you just mean they're showing the same thing?
I'm sorry.
When you're saying, do you mean just like they're showing the same?
Oh. Just one moment. Ah. What is this in here?
Is that what I'm saying?
Oh. Okay. Child, I thought something was going on with my ears.
I know. I just kind of flag them all, and then I can sort of give context back to back. So I'm going to start with States Exhibits 111.9, 10, and 11. So if I may approach with this, Judge, and I'll go ahead and kind of make an aggregate argument about this, Judge. These photos that we're showing are mostly photos from the crime scene at the school. Some of the photos are pictures of evidence that were taken individually, either at the school or outside of the school. A lot of these photos, this is pared down from obviously thousands of crime scene photos, but this school, like a lot of schools, the hallways look very similar, the classrooms look very similar, the walls within the classrooms look very similar. So as we're going through it, we do have some pictures to orient the jury to where we're talking about, what we're talking about. So those three, for example, Judge, I think those are essentially three pictures going down a hallway. But we're showing the jury what hallway we're talking about as we're going down the hallway, and helping orient them while we're talking about the crime scene itself. So the purpose of that is not to show three pictures of the same object, but to provide orienting photos as we talk about the crime scene, in addition to showing the evidence that was at the crime scene.
All right. And with these three, you know, I don't.
And Judge, Ms. Brooks did just apologize for cutting you off, make a good point of part of this too, even as recently as last night in talking to Special Agent Stewart about this, part of it is to orient our witness to where we're talking about in the crime scene as well. Again, with the sort of visual redundancy throughout the school, it is hard to tell what hallway you're looking at, what classroom you're looking at, what locker you're looking at, without some kind of orienting point.
All right. And yeah, with these three at least, I don't know if there's any particular degree of prejudice to the defendant. I'll go ahead and determine that 111.10 is needlessly cumulative. I think simply everything in it is depicted in 111.9 and 111.11. I don't know that we gained anything from 111.10. You think, because you know your case, I do not. If there's something you're aware of that I'm not, go ahead and let me know.
Can I get this back from you?
Yes, ma'am.
And I would also ask if there's something excluded, Judge, if we needed to use it as to refresh the recollection of our witness, even if it's not placed.
My God, today.
Sure.
One moment. So Judge, we'll try to pull these out of our presentation as we're going, if there's any additional ones, so we're not wasting any more time. The next one, Judge, is 111.13. That's this one. That's this one. And I believe Mr. Berry's objection to that one was relevant.
Judge, no probative value for that particular photograph, does not depict any bullet holes or blood or anything that the state would need
My
to
God.
show It's just
And,
poster board.
and Judge, it is a poster board. It is the poster board that was used to conceal the weapon that the jury is going to see in surveillance videos. It's been referenced repeatedly by witnesses throughout the trial. It also shows a shoe that I believe to be Natalie Griffith's shoe that was testified to that she lost when she was being carried out.
All right, so this is purported to be the poster board that was wrapped around.
Used to conceal the weapon. And the shoe that has blood on it would be Natalie Griffith's shoe.
All right, I would overrule the objection. There is some probative value as we have heard about the poster board. So that's 11113.
All right. The next ones are 11135 and 11140. And I believe the argument there is that it would be cumulative.
May have been 130, I'm sorry, 139.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see.
What?
139 and 140. And Judge, again, those photos orient both the witness and the jury as to where we're looking in the classroom. One photo shows evidence markers that the other does not show. One shows closer up the evidence in the classroom better than the other one. I think it's important to be able to show, this is a complex crime scene, and these classes are specifically from Miss Ryan's room. I think it's important to be able to orient the jury and show the totality of the crime scene.
Let's see how we doing over here.
Yes.
We think that one certainly is enough.
How you guys? How you
Yeah,
doing? Thank
just
you.
a little bit farther away.
I see I got you on a StreamYard.
Pretty much
Every
far away, everything that
like
you,
my video?
you need to show.
thumb up my video and share it also. Thank you. Okay.
I'll come back to those.
Okay. The next were 51, 54, and 57. We might have. We got these two, but we got this one. Okay, that's-
I may have front 58 in there too, to make sure that somewhere.
So 54 and 51 together, and then 57 and 58 together. Okay.
Give me a minute, you guys. I'll be right back. Let me go put something on there.
So this is 51, 11, 51, and 54. And then I'll go ahead and hand you 57 and 58. So the first one, Judge, actually does show two similar but completely different whiteboards. So we would argue that shows different bullet defects from Ms. Ryan's classroom on two different whiteboards.
So Mr. Gray, my understanding is these are two different whiteboards, not the same whiteboard.
And you can tell that one of them has writing on it, but the other does not have.
Does your objection remain, or with her adding that?
If the one whiteboard is different, if they're two different classrooms or two different whiteboards, I don't have an objection.
My understanding is two different whiteboards.
Yes, sir.
All right,
If
so,
they are, then I would withdraw that.
all right, thank you.
The next two, Judge, show bullet defects outside of a bathroom. They are similar pictures. One is closer than the other. The one that's further zoomed out shows the bullet defects in their totality. As we get closer, we want to be able to show the jury the kind of damage that this weapon was doing as he was firing it. Those are defects that were caused around the time that he was firing at Mason. I think it's important to be able to show the jury what this specific firearm with these specific bullets was doing at that time. It's hard to tell in the zoomed out picture. When you provide the more zoomed in picture, you're able to see that more clearly.
Oh.
And again, the more zoomed out one provides orientation for the more zoomed in one as well.
You know, honestly, there's nothing that would prevent the state in 11157 with more zoomed out from publishing it. And then as we do on a phone, zooming in and showing, it's the same effect as if they just did 58 separately.
And we have technical limitations that may prevent us from being able to do that versus just showing two exhibits that I would argue are not prejudicial in any way. They're just photos of the evidence.
All right. Come back to those. What else?
Next he has, okay, that was, I'm sorry, Judge, was that 57 and 58, correct?
It was.
Okay, thank you. Next is 111.81 and 111.83.
I'll withdraw that one, Judge. I think one is a close-up, but you can't really see it that well, so we'll withdraw our objection on that.
All right. Thank you.
Next we have, I believe it's 84 and 94.
Those are as the probative values.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Judge 111 is 84, does show a defect. It is small, but again, it's orienting for the jury. It's above the poster board there. That's a hallway we have very few pictures of because I believe that's the only bullet defect on that wall. 111.94. This is Ms. Lancaster and Mr. Phoenix's classroom. If my memory serves, that is the only picture we have from within their classroom looking out, other than one a little closer that shows specifically where Mr. Phoenix fell. But that is to show from the inside of the classroom looking out.
All right, I will. Should the defendant an objection, I'll overrule it if treated as a motion in limine. I would deny it as to 111.84 and 94.
And then I think the next one.
I believe that's 146.
Okay, that's
Straight down the list.
is that 146, Mr. Berry? Couldn't tell if it was 146 or 116.
116, Judge, I think.
That's this one?
Right.
Yeah.
It has writing on it. Generally, I don't know who put the writing on there, but it is directive sometimes, so I'll always object to any writing on the photograph.
That just shows. That is going to be this witness's, I believe this witness's writing.
Correct.
That's just to orient where it comes from. We're going to tender that actual physical piece of evidence into evidence. The writing on it says from backpack. It is part of the same exhibit as the backpack. So I think in this specific case, I don't really see how that has any sort of negative impact.
Well, in your understanding and your proffering is that the witness is going to testify to the same that's written on here.
Correct. And then when the physical objects are tendered in, they're all in the same evidence bag. That object, I think another object in the backpack.
All right. What I'll do is, I'll instruct the jury that the evidence testimony regarding this item or where it came from, not the writing, on the exhibit. I'm not going to exclude the exhibit.
Okay. And the next one is 117.
We got a lot of photographs of the gun.
Which I don't know that we have.
What we got the gun.
Oh, 117. Yeah, 117 was previously introduced through Deputy King.
All right. So it's already admitted.
Yes, sir. And the reason we have it in Agent Stewart's presentation is just to provide context for where that photo came from.
That's fine.
Judge, I was using 117 in relation to, I think it's 139, 107, 108, 109, and all showing the firearm,
Okay.
especially since 117 is already in.
107, 108, 109, and 139. And just these are all photos of the firearm where it was at the crime scene.
Each one of those, Judge, said shows pretty much exactly the same scene. It's not really for orientation because you can orient it completely.
Okay, and if I can make my argument from the bench so that I don't
Sure.
try to remember this. So this is 111.107. This shows the orientation of where Colin Gray was apprehended.
All right.
This shows specifically these objects surrounding it. This is a better picture showing, it's hard to see in this one that these are 3 separate magazines. That's the last one, and that is to show the distance between where he was apprehended and where Mason's body was.
All right. So I would allow 107, 108, 139. There is some difference from each, whether it's orientation, showing its respective position to Mason, a little bit closer photo, 108, I think 109. I'll call that needlessly cumulative. You can see it fine in 108.
And Judge Hicks, I think we have 111.140 and 141, and that's these two.
In your, I apologize, you did say you're
Everything
excluding
109.
109, so you excluded. Okay.
Judge, we have 140, 141, same as 142. We already have several pictures of the gun already. I don't think there's any.
And these are showing details on the gun, that there's been modifications to the gun, and this shows writing that was on the gun.
So I'm looking at 141 and 140. You say, so 141, you say there's writing here, presumably made by,
There's writing on the gun, yes, sir.
can you tell what it says?
I don't believe it will come into evidence that it's anything really legible.
Well, 140, 141 are two different halves of the gun, stock end and the barrel end. I'll overrule the objections to those. You said they're the same as 142?
It just shows the gun, and we've already got
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge.
17 and it's showing the gun anyway.
This is 142. And that's just showing the gun out of the context of the crime scene, just a clean picture of the firearm itself. And again, I don't think its addition is prejudicial in any way, but the crime scene obviously has a lot going on in it. Okay, that one specifically? Mhm. Okay. And Judge, we're not publishing 142 through this witness. We do want to introduce it through this witness, but it'll be used for reference at a later time.
All right, well, I'll just reserve ruling on 142. Since you can lay the foundation of this witness.
Yeah.
I didn't see what it was, but it's not your problem. 142 is what's holding around the
And okay, that's the same for those three pictures, Judge, of the gun on the cardboard.
Okay.
And then I think his last one was 117.
And I think we already went over.
Did we, yeah, that was on there earlier.
We've got 120, there's writing on that photo, and 131, there's writing.
I don't see 131 on your list. I do see 120.
Okay. And just as a similar 120, 111.120, is similar to the previous one where it said front book bag. This is going to be our witness who made that writing. That's what she's going to testify to. That's her writing and her that took the photograph.
All right. Inasmuch as the witness is providing the testimony that forms the basis for the writing, I'll overrule the objection if you want. I'll tell the jury that the testimony is the evidence, not the writing. Although the writing just be something that is a recollection recorded or refresher recollection. But these is
122 and 129.
Oh, yeah. I think 122, Judge, is probative, and also 129 shows the same bullets that are, I think, at 130.
Now, what I think I heard you say is 122 is appropriate,
Correct.
which would be relevant in this.
It's not, there's another photo that shows the same thing, so it's not really probative.
Cumulative of
Showing,
showing
you
up.
I would have to look back, Judge. I don't know that it is. There's 3 magazines at issue here.
Oh, hey, Sparkle. Hey, Ronnie.
That's. Yeah.
So where is your super chat button? Oh, I gotta go and set it up.
Connecting to this one.
Wait a minute, Ronnie.
Okay, I'll start with
Wait a minute, Ronnie, baby. I gotta go and set it up.
So this is 123. is a magazine. 122 is zoomed in on that, but the purpose of that is to show the capacity of the magazine. So it has that 60 capacity,
what
but
it
it's
is?
black on black. So
Okay,
it's very much
remember,
that first photo.
Oh, sure. Well, the guy that I have
You
memory
think the 60 is
of.
the capacity?
5
of the
now.
magazine?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Is it a
now.
double magazine?
Let me see now. This one here is, who I gave that to?
Yeah, that's what the firearms expert tells us.
We're calling a whole expert to cover all that, Judge.
Okay.
All right.
But I think the
Now,
writing on the magazine is
here.
very relevant as to what Holt Gray had on him at the school. And that's not easily
Question,
visible
let me
in the
see
single
what-
photo.
All right, I'll vote.
I think the last one, Judge, is a series of shells, unfired projectiles, and there's another one. Shows the same thing, but they're laying flat.
122 and 129.
They're flat.
So this is 122,
Do you have 122 up
I have
there?
122.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let
So
me
you're
try to
saying
see.
122 and 129 are cumulative? Okay. Okay, I see what 122 is.
Yes. ma'am.
Wait a minute, Ronnie. I think I got it.
That's it on top.
So 122 shows the outside of the magazine.
Ronnie, I got it up there.
Presuming this is from the same magazine, this is showing what was inside the magazine, which
Who
obviously
is
is not
this?
visible.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Okay.
This photograph, which I guess is 129, but
Yes, sir.
Okay.
there's another photograph of the same
Ronnie, it's up
projectile
there now.
that they're laying down here, and then they have a photograph. of the
Ronnie
back.
is over there on,
I don't know whether there's any reason to
Thank you.
What's the other one got?
put both of those in.
Woo! Okay. Visible. Okay, I got all live chat visible.
But we can take out.
Ronnie, I got it up. Wait a minute, I probably got to turn it on.
Thank you, Judge. I think that was the last one.
Hold on a second.
All right, so 128 is
Let's see what Ronnie at. Ronnie,
removing.
I think I gotta go and turn it on. Where my
Do you
phone?
have any objection to me just showing our witness what we've taken out? Do you have any problem with me showing our witness what we've taken out, just so she knows as far as that goes? That's something that's going to throw you off.
You don't see membership. Okay, let me,
I will,
So we've got a couple of them.
could I turn it on from up here?
bring up the motion or sustain the motion as to 140 being, I'm sorry, 40 being needlessly cumulative of 111.39, and then 111.58 needlessly cumulative of 111.57.
So we're removing,
111.58 and 111.40.
Okay, wait a minute.
And can I get,
Yes, ma'am. I think these are the ones that are fine. These were three that were excluded.
I'm going to apologize to the court reporter in advance. I was trying to keep them in order, but I do not know that we're there at this point. So 58 and 40,
Let me see, can I turn it on from here?
in addition to, what did you say about 109, Judge?
109.
that's already been removed.
That's been removed. Okay. So these are the other three taken out. Maybe another one at the bathroom.
I think this is the one where you asked me where 34 is,
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, let me
because it's
go
on the
back
other
up
side
here.
of that chair.
Okay.
So I don't,
Let me go back over here into the studio for something. Hold on, let's see, can I get into the studio from here? Okay, studio.
What's the delegate rate?
Okay, hold on a second. If I put on this here, hold on a second, see that did I do? Hold on a second.
Oh, that's another
Super chat. Super chat.
I took out 58. I saved them.
Okay, hold on a second.
Judge, if I can have just 1 minute, one of the photographs that we took out was kind of for the purpose of orienting our witness, so I just want to give her
You don't shut your ass, you damn
a
computer.
little bit of a heads
Hold
up.
on, I'm trying to see, where is it? If anybody see Goosey out there, let me know that I'm looking for him. God, you got me stopped right here. You can see right here. Why is that? Oh, okay, that was another thing.
So when we took out
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute, the super chat went over here, hold up one second. Ah,
And I'll have it, like I said earlier, I'll have that one up here if you need some kind of orientation, then I can refresh your recollection with that. All right, Judge, I think we have our presentation updated, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a.
so good, so good. Okay. I missed a-
Judge, when I tell you these into evidence, are you okay with me just tendering the numbers that I can put on the record now, that those numbers will exclude the ones that were omitted, so we're not confusing the jury by listing a bunch of things we're not admitting? Does that make sense?
And just for the record.
I gotta get Goosey over here. You here, I gotta get Goosey here. It's
I
saying
think that's fine. Yes, ma'am.
on
You
Dolby
just
Milton
indicated
Free
that
where
no
we
case
at,
photos that
saying that it's not on, they send it over here on Dolby Milton 4. This is what he's telling me. That's what I gotta get Goosey for.
Ready for them?
Yes, sir.
I'm ready to Don't be stupid. Please do, sorry, we had to work through some evidentiary issues. It happens. Christine,
All right, so just to kind of refresh your recollection where we left off, we had just tendered your scan of the school and the walkthrough that you had prepared in relation to that. And I remember you previously testified that there are some sort of visual defects in the presentation from the Leica scanner. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So before we publish that for the jury, do you want to kind of just tell us what we're going to see first off to give us an idea of what we're looking at and what we'll see for the first minute or two of it?
Yeah, so the video starts in the boys' bathroom that was on J Hall. And then in the video, will be coming out of the bathroom and then turning left down the hall, proceeding down the hallway towards Miss Greer's classroom.
All I got one set of my cards.
Just for clarification purposes, is it the same bathroom that Colin Gray was in and exited in the direction he exited towards on September 4th of 2024?
Yes.
Let me go and see if I find Goosey. stole a semi what? Okay, this is a case here. Let me give you a update on what the case is about. This case is okay. This is in the bathroom. Okay, case is about a father gave his son a firearm to go and shoot up the school, and this happened in Georgia. Anyway, it was the son took 4 lives. That was in 2024. I do remember that. I do remember that. So anyway, right now they showing you something pertaining to the bathroom and the locker room pertaining to how that they found kids and the hallway. Those are the lockers. So anyway, that's basically what is showing. And this one here is supposed to be an expert, and she was, she like the crime scene. You know when they bring the people and you come out and they put out this crime scene tape. This is what she was doing. This is a part of what the kids was running there, and she telling the court everything, basically like how the camera is moving, what about that they are at. Everybody quit. So that's what that is. And they got the father here on trial, then in fact with the son, right? Because he gave the son the firearm and told the son go and do it. I don't know, where did I put this information at? What did I write it on? I had all my notes right here. See it? I put it on the side of here. That's mixed up. Yeah. So the camera's yeah, so the camera is going very, very slow. And of course, they said that earlier this morning they weren't going to show us really like no the gruesome stuff. So anyway, that is basically what she is doing, taking us through it.
Pause this at 2 minutes and 48 seconds. As we're approaching Ms. Greer's classroom, can you tell us what we're going to be seeing for the next couple minutes?
Yeah, so for the next couple minutes, you'll see the video go towards Ms. Greer's classroom, almost like we're going to go into the classroom. The door would have been closed during the time of the incident, but for scanning purposes, we leave the doors open so that the scanner can see into the room because it's a line of sight scanner, so it can't see through the door. What you may also see is some, what we call noise. The scanner doesn't love reflective surfaces, so what happens when it's hitting a reflective surface is it's returning back, and it sometimes creates points in error, essentially. So you may have, like, let's say it hits the TV screen, you may have the duplicate of the TV screen on the back wall or something like that. We go in and we try to clean up most of that as best we can, but you can imagine in the school there was a lot of reflective surfaces. So you may see some of that as well. And then once we come out of Ms. Greer's classroom, the video doesn't go completely in it, but then we connect to Ms. Ryan's classroom, and you'll see the video actually go through her classroom to show some of the defects and the other evidence that's in the classroom. Of course, during the incident, Colt didn't actually walk through the classroom, he stepped into the classroom. But for the purposes of this, for you to be able to see everything, we went in that classroom.
Thank you.
I don't have my glasses.
Just let me know. It's 5 minutes and 14 seconds. Tell me what we're gonna see in this next few minutes.
So in the next few minutes, you will see us make our way back down J Hall towards the intersection of I and J. And that intersection is where Miss Irami gets shot. Colt shoots Miss Irami from that intersection, and also Coach Aspinwall and Mr. Phoenix.
So is it going to look down the hallway where Coach Aspinwall and Mr. Phoenix were?
Correct.
This is 6 minutes, 35 seconds. Tell me what we're gonna see in the last segment of this.
So we will continue down J hallway. Obviously, this I'm flying through very slowly because I don't want anyone to feel like they're on a roller coaster. But in the video, obviously, things were moving much faster.
And is there an additional hallway we're gonna look down as we get further?
Yeah, so we'll get to the end of J hallway. It will turn towards that last classroom on the left side of the hallway because in the video it appeared that he almost like he looked into that classroom. I don't know if he was attempting to go in, but he looked in that classroom and then he turns around, points back down J hall. That's where he shoots Mason, and then turns and points the gun at a kid that is down K hall, and then that almost in that same moment, law enforcement is making contact with him.
Go look at the mother. The mother look up, okay? Is the mother locked up too? No. I had saw her. No, she wasn't. But the daddy looked like allegedly looked like a redneck. Looked like a redneck to me. Son, just go to school and shoot them motherfuckers. Did the police blow his little ass away? I'm not too sure. I don't know. No, he's still there. No, they didn't blow his little ass off. That's how they found out how he got the gun. He told his daddy they do it. Told him to go and do it. So he took 4 lives.
All right, so you, in addition to this scan and collecting evidence, you referenced taking photographs of the crime scene. Is it fair to say a significant number of photographs were taken of this crime scene over the course of several days?
Yes, I individually took over 1,000 photographs.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 111.1 through 111.144. That the Defense Counsel has previously reviewed. Did you review the stack of photographs outside the presence of the jury?
Yes.
And tell me what those are.
They are overall mid-range and close-up photographs of the school and various items of evidence and bullet defects.
Okay, and are they all fair and accurate photos of photographs that were taken of the crime scene and evidence from the crime scene?
Yes, in some of the photographs you may see some areas that are a little brighter. I did use an external flash because as the day moved on, it got darker outside, so it was darker inside of the school.
Okay, and have they been materially changed or altered in any way?
No.
And Judge, at this time, the state would tender State's Exhibits 111.1 through 111.144, and note that 111.117 was previously admitted through Deputy Kane.
All right. So Mr. Berry, no objections except those we dealt with earlier, is that right?
That's correct, Judge, thank you.
All right, 111.1 through 144 are admitted, except for those that I ruled on a little while ago.
We're going to pull these up, and we will start with 111.1, and we've got some orienting slides throughout this. So we'll start with pictures starting at the J Hall bathroom. And can you just tell us, is that the relevant bathroom to this case that Colt was in?
Yes.
Okay. And this starting with 111.1, and I'm just going to say the last part of the number. All of these are parts of State's Exhibit 111. So starting with 1, tell us what we're looking at.
This is just an exterior photograph of the bathroom.
Okay. And is that a bullet defect, on the right side of the bathroom sign?
Yes.
Okay. And going to 2.
This is making my way into the bathroom.
And next.
again, continuing into the bathroom.
Okay, and that's 111.3. And next, and I know we've got some out of order, so I'll try to avoid saying the numbers, but, so the next one, 4, what does that show?
That would be the first bathroom stall on the left when you enter the bathroom.
Okay, and the next one?
This is a close-up photograph of the hat and hall pass or office pass.
And I'm gonna show you what's been marked as Stacy's at 112 and 113. And can you identify what this is for the jury?
Yes, this is a bag containing the blue and white color hat that you see in the photograph, and also the media center and office pass. And then there was also a piece of paper on the floor, so it's also in this bag.
Okay. And can I have you open that bag? And I think you've got materials up there to do that, and show us that hat and tag. And Judge, at this time, we would move to tender states exhibits 112, which is the hat, and 113, which is the badge.
And just so it's clear, these are not 111 point.
No, these are
This is actually
their own
112.
exhibits. Yes, sir.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 112 and 113 are permitted.
No paper. Wait a minute, I'm sure you would have been better off being on a thing on this. And then, what y'all talking about? Yeah, going through all that. Woo!
All right, can you just hold up? I'll have you hold up the hat for the jury, and then after that, if you'll hold up the badge. And can you tell us what the writing on that badge says?
So it says Appalachia High School at the top, then it says Media Center / office, and then it says Hall J, room 2.151.
Okay. And what was the writing on that hat?
The writing on the hat says vendor.
Now going back to the pictures, if we can go to the next slide. This is 6. And what's that show?
This is a new student information paper.
And thank you. And then the next slide. So these next pictures will be from outside the bathroom going down J Hall, some classrooms of Miss Greer and Miss Ryan. If we can go to the next slide. So 7, what are we looking at here?
So we're looking at the exterior of the bathrooms and then also down J hallway.
Okay, and next is 8. And what do you see on this picture?
Now we're outside of Miss Greer's classroom and Mr. Ryan's classroom.
Okay, next. It's 9.
Again, we're outside of that classroom, making our way closer.
And what are those objects that you can see, at least in the foreground of that photo?
On the floor just outside of Miss Greer's
Oh my
classroom
goodness.
was a poster and a backpack.
Oh my God.
Next, this is 11.
This is just another photograph from a different angle outside of the classroom, both of those classrooms.
Okay, and in addition to what you identified previously, those blue bloods, are those from the crime scene or from medical personnel?
Those are probably from medical personnel.
Okay. And is that assumption just based on your knowledge, training, and experience with how these crime scenes are approached?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on, so they likely were trying to render aid to people and, trying to change gloves out.
Okay. And next, 12.
This is a shoe that was just outside of Ms. Greer's classroom.
Okay, and is that the
My
same shoe that we
God.
saw in the foreground of the previous picture?
Yes.
Okay. And 13.
This is a close-up photograph of the poster, and then there's also a crock that has blood on it.
Okay. And next. All right, so Ms. Greer's classroom. Go to the next slide. Okay, this is 14. What is this showing?
This is the area just outside of Ms. Greer's classroom.
And next, 15.
That's an overall photograph from the doorway of Ms. Greer's classroom.
Okay. And next. And so referencing Ms. Ryan's classroom, so going to the next slide. 16.
So just outside of the door of Ms. Ryan's classroom.
Okay. And next. 17.
This was taken from the doorway. It's showing the overall from the doorway and those defects that are in the whiteboard.
Okay. And this is inside Ms. Ryan's classroom.
Correct.
Next. 19.
So this would be in the doorway looking down. So what you'll notice in this photograph is we have some evidence markers that are out, and then we have sticky notes on the ground. So this photograph was taken on day 2. What happened was day 1, we collected all of our evidence, and then in order to do a thorough search of the room and find additional cartridge cases, we had to move things out, but we wanted to still have a reference of where the evidence was from the previous day. So we utilized sticky notes to do that in place of those evidence markers.
Okay. And that's 19. Next is 18.
Just another overall of the classroom from a different angle.
All right. And next is 21.
Again, another kind of overall of the classroom from another corner showing evidence markers.
Okay. And that significant amount of blood that we see on the floor there, is that the same blood that we saw when you were coming into the room?
Correct.
Some of the
That's
packs, some of the
21.
stuff, they said
Go to
it
the
wasn't gonna
next
show us because it was too
And this is
bad.
28.
Yeah, so evidence marker 28 was just inside of the doorway towards the left door jamb.
Okay. And next, or I'm sorry, can we go back to 28? What is that evidence marker 28 showing?
It's showing a cartridge case.
Okay. And next is 29.
Yeah, 29, 30, and 31 were also just inside of the doorway, but towards the right side, and they represent cartridge cases. You're going to hear me say cartridge case. It's the more formal term for a shell casing.
Okay. And next is 30.
Close up of the cartridge case that was just underneath the desk.
Okay. Next is 22.
So this would be with the door closed. There were blood stains that were on the back of the door that we initially couldn't see when we first walked in until we closed the door.
Okay. And that's the door, the entrance to the classroom. Is that close?
Correct.
Okay. Next, 23.
Just a close-up photograph of one of the blood stains on that wall.
And next, 24.
So this is a bullet defect. If you remember, evidence markers 30 and 31 were on the right side just as you enter. And so there's also a bullet defect in that area.
And next,
This is a close-up of that defect.
okay, that's 25. And next, 27.
So just an overall of evidence markers 29, 31, and 32.
Okay. And we see that significant amount of blood up in the top corner. Is that same near the doorway that we're at?
Correct.
Okay. That was 27. The next, 26.
So the significant amount of blood that was previously referenced would now be towards the bottom of the photo behind us. essentially, and now we're looking at other evidence markers in relation to that.
Okay, and next to that evidence marker 32, what is that?
A cartridge case.
Okay, and that was 26. Next is 31.
Close-up of cartridge case.
And next, 34.
These are cartridge cases that were either like under chairs that had been turned over or near desks.
Okay, and is that black object on the right side, is that a chair that's turned over?
Yeah, that was a chair that had flipped over.
Okay, and that was 34. Next, it's 35.
Cartridge case and evidence marker 38. I believe this is under a chair.
Okay, next, it's 36.
So this is an overall photograph of evidence markers just inside the room.
Okay, and is that like crocheting or knitting yarn that we see right there?
Yes.
Okay. That was 36. Next, it's 38.
Another photograph of evidence markers 20, 29, 31, and 32, all representing cartridge cases.
Okay, and again, is that door in that top corner, the front door to the classroom?
Correct.
All right, next. It's 37.
Just a closer photo of 35. There's another evidence marker that's just on the other side of the chair, which would be number 34. That's difficult to see from this photo.
Okay, and next, it's 32.
Yeah, so then there's evidence marker 34 identifying a cartridge case.
All right, next, 33.
A close-up of evidence marker 35 identifying a cartridge case.
Next, 39.
So an overall photograph of evidence markers, and there are some blood stains as well.
Next, 41.
Overall photograph showing some of the cartridge cases that are underneath desks.
Next, it's 42.
Just a closer up photograph of those evidence markers.
Okay, and going back to 43.
So this would be, if you walk into the classroom and turn left, this would be that corner.
Okay, and is that screen in the top right corner, does that say clear touch?
Yes.
Okay. And that's 43. Next, it's 44.
There were bullet defects on that wall.
Okay, next, 49.
That's a closer up photograph of some of those bullet defects.
Okay, and tell us about the measurements on those markers. What are those inches, centimeters? What are those showing?
So typically we use centimeters. We refer to bullet defects and blood stains typically in millimeters or centimeters, preferably millimeters.
Thank you. That was 49. Next is 45.
This would be in the previous photo. If you are standing in the doorway of the classroom and you look left, we saw that podium, and these are blood stains that were on the podium and then also on the wall near that podium.
Okay. And next is 53.
So these are the bullet defects that we saw on that wall on the left side. If we continue along that wall, there's a whiteboard, and these are the bullet defects that are on the whiteboard, a little below the whiteboard, and then above that whiteboard.
And do you have a silver pointer that's up there?
Yes.
All right. And on this picture, I'm just going to have you on the screen behind you. Can you just point out, since it's kind of white on white, where all the bullet defects are that you see?
Okay. So any place that you see in what we call an L scale, it's an adhesive scale. Any place that you see that represents a bullet defect. Some of them represent 2 bullet defects because they were so close together. It didn't make sense to try to finagle 2 scales. These dots are dots that were already on the whiteboard in whiteboard marker, probably drawn by the teacher or a student. So if there's not an L scale next to it, then it's not a bullet defect.
Thank you. And that was 53. We can go to the next one, 54. Is that same board?
Yes.
Okay. And just a little easier to see the
Yes.
defects there. Okay. And next, 55.
More photographs of the bullet defects.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'll be
Next.
right back, Ronnie.
It's 56.
Additional bullet defects.
And 46.
So in this photograph, there's not a scale on this one. I think maybe the next photo, I know I have photos with it, but that's a defect in a desk.
Okay, and then can you point to it on the screen behind us? I think it's pretty visible, but I know it's obviously on black material. Okay, thank you. And next is 47.
Additional bullet defects on desk 21.
Okay. And next is 48.
A defect on desk 19.
All right. And next, I'm going to use this classroom seating chart. This was previously tendered as exhibit. Okay. It's State's Exhibit 38. The desks we saw had numbers on them. Can you tell us which desks it were that had the bullet defects in them?
So that would be desk 19 had bullet defects, desk 21. Both of those in the photographs had the L scale, and then desk 9 was that first one that we saw that didn't have the L scale in that specific photograph.
Okay, thank you. And we can go to the next slide. This is 50.
So if you're standing in a doorway and you're looking straight into the classroom, this is that wall. So there are bullet defects on the blinds and then bullet defects on the whiteboard on that wall.
Okay, and again, anywhere where we see an L scale, that indicates a defect.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Next. It's 51.
Just a closer up photograph of that. And as I mentioned before, especially on this whiteboard in particular, there were a couple of bullet defects represented by one L scale. Most of them are just one, but on this particular whiteboard, there were a couple of L scales that represented 2 bullet defects.
Okay, thank you. And next is 52.
So we removed the whiteboard because some of the bullets went through the whiteboard, and so we were trying to recover any evidence possible. So we removed the whiteboard to see which ones went through, and this is that wall behind that whiteboard.
Okay, and we see the L scales down below the paper, but we see this large defect up on the top. Is that from a bullet?
It's likely from a bullet,
Okay.
yes.
Was that consistent with being
Yes.
from a bullet where the defects were in the board?
Correct.
All right, thank you. And that was 52. We can go to the next one is 20.
So as I said before, day 1, we did our initial search. We came back into this classroom on day 2. We had to remove everything from the classroom to recover additional evidence and label the blood stain. So this is a photograph of us when we had taken everything out, and we have the evidence markers showing where the additional cartridge cases were.
And Bleecker. So before we go towards the next photographs, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 114. And can you just identify what this is?
Yes, this is the bag that contains the backpack that was at evidence marker 20.
Okay. And what is labeled as being inside of that bag?
This bag is labeled to contain the black and color JanSport backpack, and within that backpack would have been a binder, miscellaneous school papers, a knife, a computer charger, a can of Remington oil.
Okay. And does it appear to be in the same condition as when it was packaged and put into evidence with the GBI?
Yes.
All right. And Judge, at this time, we would tender State's Exhibit 114.
No, 114.
All right. So I'm going to have you open that up. And specifically, if I can have you, once you have that open, display for the jury the backpack as well as the oil and the knife. All right, and can you tell us what brand of backpack that is based on the front of it?
JanSport.
Okay, and is this the backpack that was recovered? We saw in the photos a backpack that was with a white poster board outside of Miss Ryan and Miss Greer's classrooms?
Yes.
Okay. And based on your review of the crime scene and the evidence, is that consistent both in appearance and location as being the backpack that Colt Gray had with him that day?
Yes.
Okay. And then inside the backpack, I think it just displayed for the jury the oil and the knife.
You're bringing out what's in that backpack that they have picked up. Okay, what is that?
And can you just read what that is off the Kim?
Yes, it says Remington, and then it says Rem Oil Firearm Lubricant.
Okay.
Was this boy trying to burn down the school too? Daddy, what all you told him to
I have
do?
to step down first.
I'm sorry?
I may have to step down.
Okay, that's fine. And I'll go ahead and ask you, I think it's pretty obvious, but was the knife in that packaging when it was recovered from the crime scene, or was that done by law enforcement?
I would have packaged the knife safely.
You know what, Ronnie? These damn children dangerous today. Ronnie, they are dangerous. They mean business.
And if you want to go ahead and store that over on this table, you're welcome to do that.
These are the knives, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Next, I'm going to show you what have been marked as State's Exhibits 109 and 115. And I'm not going to have you open these up, but if you can just identify what these are.
Yes, so 109 is a brown paper bag containing 6 LC223 REM cartridge cases from room 2.152, which would be Miss Ryan's classroom.
Okay.
And then 115 is brown paper bag containing 18 223 cartridge cases.
Okay, and where were those recovered from?
Some of them were from room 2.152, which is Miss Ryan's classroom, and then some of them were from the hallway floor, close to where Mason was shot.
Okay. And those appear to be in the same condition and sealed as when you took them into evidence and put them into evidence for GBI.
Yes, the only difference is they have the blue evidence tape showing that they went to the firearms section for analysis.
Okay. And Judge, at this time, we would tender State's Exhibits 109 and 115.
Oh, yeah. 109 and 115.
Okay. And here, I can put. And we're going to go back to some of the photographs. So we have our next photographs from when he shot towards Miss Yeremy's classroom. If we can go to the next slide. This is 64. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
So we're looking
Well, how
at
did he tell you that?
evidence from number 14, which is kind of close to where Miss Irame's classroom was.
Okay, and is that her classroom where we see her name up on the ceiling?
Yes.
Okay. And next.
This would be the outside of Miss Irame's classroom.
Okay, and that's 65. And next is 66.
Just a close-up of the outside of her classroom.
Okay. Next.
So in this photograph, this is an overall of, there are actually two
Oh, so look at the bed over there,
pieces
right?
of bullet
I
jacket,
will run
and I
in.
think lead core.
Okay.
So bullet defects that are just outside of her classroom.
Okay, and this is 63. And if you can show us on this photo where the defects are on the screen behind you. Thank you. We'll go to the next photo. 67.
Those are close-ups of those fragments.
Okay, and that's Miss Irame's doorway.
Correct.
All right. And next, 68.
This is just outside of her classroom, looking down, kind of leading into her classroom.
Okay, I gotta go here.
Next.
Yeah.
69.
Looking down at the bloodstains that are just inside of the doorway.
Next is 70.
So this would be an overall of part of her classroom.
All right. And we see obviously a significant amount of blood in the pink article of clothing. Is that where Ms. Irving was when she was first located by law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. And next.
Just another photograph of the bloodstains.
Okay, that's 71. This is 72.
This would be her sweater.
All right, next. So this is just on I-Hall. And we can go to the next slide. I-Hall's where Coach Aspinwall and Coach Phoenix's classrooms were located. What are we looking at here in 144?
So where the green evidence markers are that's I-Hall. So we used yellow evidence markers on J-Hall and green evidence markers on I-Hall.
Okay. And how many markers do we see in that picture?
In this specific photograph, there are 11 evidence markers, and each one of them represents a cartridge case.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
And go to the next one, 143.
So this is evidence marker 12 that represents a cartridge case that would have been just outside of our view in that last photograph on the left.
Okay, so is that 12 total cartridge cases that were recovered on I-Hall?
Yes.
Towards I-Hall? Okay. And I'm going to show you what's been marked as Safety Exhibit 203. And again, I'm not going to have you open this, but if you can identify what this is.
This is the bag containing those 12 223 cartridge cases from the evidence markers on I-Hall.
Okay, and again, does the evidence appear to be how you packaged it and in substantially the same condition as when it was placed in the evidence?
Yes, this also has the crime lab firearms suit as well.
Okay. Judge, at this time, we tender State's Exhibit 203.
Any objection? No, no. All right, 203 is admitted.
Thank you. And we can go to the next slide. What are we looking at here?
Just an overall down the hallway, and you'll see Ms. Lancaster's classroom on the right and Coach Aspinwall's room on the right as well.
Okay, so I know the evidence markers aren't there, but this is still I-Hall.
Correct.
Okay, and that was 73. We'll go next. 74.
So this is just outside of Coach Aspinwall's room. There are several bullet defects that are on the outside of his classroom.
Okay, we'll go next. 75.
These are just a close-up of some of those bullet defects.
Okay, and next. 76.
This is, again, just outside of his classroom.
Okay, and next. 77.
So that's the wall just outside of his classroom, and at this point, we're now making our way down the hallway.
Okay, so that's Coach Aspinwall's classroom, that door on the right side.
Correct.
Okay, we'll go next. That's 78.
So these are the lockers that would be just past his classroom.
Okay, and there are those defects where we see the white markers.
Yes.
We'll go next to 79.
This is a close-up of one of those bullet defects.
Next is 80.
Close-up of one of those defects.
Okay, next. 81.
So in the right side of this photograph, you'll see the end of those same lockers. And now we are making our way further down the hallway, and there are bullet defects just outside of the science classroom.
Okay, next. It's 82.
That's a closer photograph of those defects.
Okay, next is 83.
A close-up of the one that's low on the door frame.
Okay, next is 87.
So Miss Yike's classroom is actually across the hall, so we're still continuing down the hall. So instead of being on the right side where you just observe those defects, we're now on the left side of the hallway, but we're still making our way down the hall.
Okay, and I'm actually going to have you, we've got the map of the classroom right there. If you want to look and show us where Miss Yike's classroom is in relation to Coach Aspinwall. I'm sorry, Brooks.
So Coach Aspinwall's classroom is here, and some of the defects that you saw were further down the hallway, and now we're across the hall at Miss Yike's classroom.
Thank you. All right, and that was 87, and we'll go to the next one now. 88.
Those would be close-ups of those defects.
Okay, in Miss Yike's doorway.
Correct.
Okay. And next is 89.
And now we're continuing down the hall. We're on the same side of that hallway.
Okay. And are those each where we see numbers and or markers? Are those all bullet defects?
Yes.
We'll go next. 90.
There's close-ups of the bullet defect.
Next is 91.
Another close-up of the bullet defect.
Okay, so can you tell us approximately the size of that defect?
It's bigger than 40 millimeters, so it's probably close to 50 millimeters in length.
Okay. And we'll go to the next one is 86.
This is now the end of I hallway.
Okay. And is that wall, is that where I hallway intersects kind of on the opposite end from J hall?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll go to the next one. That's 84.
So this would now be the other hallway where I intersects on the opposite side.
Okay. And do you see a bullet defect in this picture?
Yes.
And could you show that to us on the screen behind you? Thank you. And that was 84. And we'll go to the next one, which is 85.
That's a close-up of that defect.
Okay. And we'll go next. All right. So looking at Mr. Phoenix and Miss Lancaster's classroom specifically. And we'll go to the next slide. It's 92.
It would be just outside of Miss Lancaster's classroom.
Okay. Next.
Making our way into the classroom.
All right. And what do you observe on the floor here?
There are bloodstains on the floor.
Okay. That was 93. We'll go next. It's 94.
So stepping inside of the classroom and photographing back out towards the door.
Okay. And that blood we see in the doorway, is that the same blood we were looking at before from the opposite direction?
Correct.
Okay. And we'll go next. Is 95.
And then this would be looking back out towards the door, the bloodstains that are just inside the doorway.
Okay. And based on your review of the crime scene and evidence, is that area of blood consistent with where Mr. Phoenix fell after he was shot?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll go to the next slide. 96.
This is just looking back out towards the hallway.
Okay. And the next one. So now moving down to Coach Aspinwall's classroom. We'll go to the next slide. All right, 97, what are we looking at?
The area outside of his classroom.
Okay. Next, 98.
The doorway immediately inside.
Okay. And that's going into Coach Aspinwall's classroom.
Correct.
Okay.
And we're in the doorway photographing our way in.
Okay. And this is 99. And what do you observe on the floor here?
There are bloodstains on the floor.
Okay. And we'll go next. This is 100.
So this would be the opposite corner from the doorway, looking back out.
Okay, and that blood that we see kind of in the middle of the photo here, is that same area of blood that we were seeing when you were coming in from the classroom?
Yes.
All right, we'll go next. Is 101.
Just an overall photograph of that blood.
Okay, and based on your review of the crime scene and the evidence, where that blood is consistent with where Coach Aspinwall fell.
I believe, yeah, he fell kind of outside of the doorway. I don't know if he was even able himself to make it in. I think someone had to pull him into the classroom.
Okay. We'll go to the next slide. It's 102.
Just an overall of those blood stains, and that's kind of why you see it streaky. That appears to be the drag marks.
Okay, and based on your knowledge, training, experience, is that consistent with somebody being dragged?
Yes, generally.
Okay. And we'll go to the next slide. So we're now going down J Hall to the area where Mason was killed. And we'll go to the next slide now. All right, so this is 7. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
This is back outside of the boys' bathroom.
Okay, so we've gone down the hall. Are we now coming back towards the hall, kind of like we saw in the Leica scan
Correct.
video? Okay. And we'll go to the next one. And this is 57. Is this that same boys' bathroom where Colt started?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you see in this photo?
There are bullet defects just outside of the boys' bathroom on that wall.
Okay. And we'll go to the next one. That's 59. And what do you see relevant in this photo?
So on the left side of this photograph, you see part of one of the bigger bullet defects, and then there's a piece of paper, and on the paper and on the wall, there were what appeared to be blood stains and potential body tissue.
Okay. And we'll go to the next slide. This is 60.
So this is the workroom area that's, if you're staring at the wall that we were just on outside of the boys' bathroom, this would be towards the right and somewhat across from Miss Irami's classroom.
Okay. And we'll go to the next one, 61.
So this was a paper that was hanging on the wall, like I said, just to the right of the boys' bathroom, and there was a bullet defect in that paper.
Okay. We'll go to the next slide, 62.
This, on the right side of this photograph, that's the workroom door, and there's a bullet defect just outside of that door.
Okay. We'll go next is 103. What are we looking at here?
So from where this photograph was taken, I was standing on K Hall, so the intersection of J and K, and I'm looking at the evidence markers that are just outside of classroom 2.141 and near the lockers and the blood where Mason was found.
Okay, so we see this blood on the left side of the photo. Is that where Mason's body was when law enforcement arrived?
Yes.
All right, and we see, we'll show closer pictures, but that black object with the evidence markers on the right side of the photo, is that approximately where Colt surrendered to law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll go to the next photo. Are we looking, I apologize, are we looking from K Hall on that picture?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to the next one. This is 104.
So this is a cartridge case at evidence marker 9, which was near Mason's body.
Okay, and I believe was that cartridge case in one of the previous exhibits that had the cartridge cases from Ms. Ryan's classroom?
Well, yes, it would have been in with the cartridge cases from Ms. Ryan's classroom.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha, thank you. And was that recovered very close to Mason's body?
Yes.
Okay. And now going to where Colt was apprehended at the intersection of J and I Hall. And I believe that's actually J and K Hall, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we'll go to the next slide here. This is 105. And what are we looking at here?
So in the bottom left corner, we're looking at evidence marker 1, which represented a glove, a yellow glove. And then further down, we're looking at the rest of the evidence markers.
Okay. And we'll go to the next slide, 106. And what does that show?
One of the yellow gloves.
Okay, and is that an external door here on the left?
Yes.
Okay. We'll go to the next one, 107. What do we see here?
So that would be the gun and the magazines and some other items that were around the gun prior to me putting out the evidence markers.
Okay, and the next slide. is 108. And what do you see in this photo?
Just a closer photograph of those items.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 116 and 117. Can you just identify for us what these are? And I am going to have you take these out and show them to the jury once we've entered them into evidence.
So 116 is the right hand yellow glove, and 117 is the left hand yellow glove.
And do those appear to be in the same condition as when you took them into evidence and placed them into evidence with the GBI?
Yes.
All right, and Judge, at this time, we would tender State's Exhibits 116 and 117 and publish to the jury.
Okay. 116, 117.
Do you want me to take both out at the same time or one?
Yeah, you can break those out.
Okay.
All right, and based on your review of the evidence of the crime scene here, what's the relevance of these gloves to this crime scene?
It's my understanding these are the gloves that he was wearing during the incident.
Okay, and was where they were recovered consistent with being those gloves, as well as their appearance?
Yes.
Okay. And if you want to put this back in the bag, I can move them over. And as I do that, I'm going to ask you a couple kind of contextual questions. Can you give us an idea of the distance that Colt was from Ms. Ehrman when he fired?
It would have been approximately 40 feet.
And similarly, can you tell us approximately how far Colt was when he fired towards Coach Aspinwall and Mr. Phoenix?
It would have been probably between 16 to 18 feet. Coach Aspinwall, I believe, was closer than Mr. Phoenix was.
Okay. And then just to kind of give us some context, what is the width of the hallway, like J Hall in the school?
The width of the hallways is approximately 11 feet.
11 feet wide, okay. Thank you. And now going back, we have a few more photos, so we'll go to the next slide. And what does this show in 110?
This is a overall photograph of the gun and some of the items around it.
Okay.
And the next slide was 111. What is that in that photo?
That's one of the magazines. There were 3 additional magazines along with the one that was in the gun for a total of 4.
Okay. And now I am going to tender into evidence. So we've got State's Exhibit 118, which is contained in the box. I believe 118 and 119 are inside of this white box. Do you want to step down and review that and identify it for us and confirm whether it appears to be in the same condition as when it was recovered? tell you, 118 is the firearm itself. Can you identify that for the jury?
Yes, this appears to be the same gun that was collected from the crime scene.
Okay, and 119 is the other object that's contained in that box. Can you identify that?
This appears to be the gun magazine that was in the weapon.
Okay. They appear to be in substantially the same condition as when they were taken into evidence.
Yes.
Okay. And judge, at this time, we would tender State's Exhibits 118 and 119.
Very, okay. All right, 118 and 119.
Okay, and I'm gonna have you display, we'll start with the firearm itself for the jury. And has that firearm been secured? Did it have a gun lock in it and otherwise been disarmed?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and can you now display 119, the magazine that was in the firearm at the time? All right, and you can have a seat. I do have a couple other pieces of evidence. So I'm gonna go ahead and provide you State's Exhibits 122, 123, and 124. I'm not gonna take all of those out. And actually, 122, 123, and 124, we are going to have you remove those. Can you identify what they are for the jury?
Yes, 122 is the tan-colored magazine,
Okay.
and there was one cartridge that was in the magazine, so both items are in this bag.
Okay. And does it appear to be in substantially the same condition as when it was put into evidence?
Yes, it also has the blue firearms tape.
And likewise, can you go ahead and identify 123 and 124?
As I stated previously, there were 3 additional mags. So 122 was the tan-colored magazine at evidence marker 5. 123 is a magazine that was at the gun at evidence marker 6. And it's a black 60 capacity gun magazine. And there were 17 cartridges in that magazine.
Okay.
And then 124, as I stated previously, was also near the gun. And it is a black gun magazine, but this time it's a 30 capacity magazine and it was full. There were 15 LC14 cartridges and 15 of the LC223 cartridges in that magazine.
All right. And similar to 122, do 123 and 124 with the exception of having markers from being to the GBI crime lab. Do those appear to be in substantially the same condition as when they were taken into evidence?
Yes.
All right. And judge, at this time, we would tender State's Exhibits 122, 123, and 124.
No catch there. All right, 122, 123, and 24. I'll move it.
All right. And starting with 122, if I could just have you remove that from the bag and show it to the jury.
Do you want just the magazine or also the coin envelope that has the cartridge?
We won't take the cartridges out of the coin envelope, but you can show that to the jury just so they're aware of what that is. And can you explain what's inside that envelope?
Yeah, so when we were collecting evidence, we try to put everything in paper. And when we're collecting cartridges and cartridge cases and fragments and bullets, we tend to put them in coin envelopes. So the cartridge from this magazine is in this envelope.
Ronnie, I'm gonna end this here live and we'll come back later. My sleep don't come down on me, okay? I'm about to go and take a nap because I'm drifting off. Anyway, you guys, thank you for joining over here at the Ed sector, and you are in the scooter lounge. I see you guys shortly. I got to drop so bad. I gotta lay down. Wait, let's see this shit first. Let me see what they got right on in here, Ronnie. Ronnie, what that girl got? Ryan, what that girl got over in there in her end? Oh my Lord. Oh Jesus. They came to do damage. And the father gave him the handgun. Y'all, we'll talk about it in a little bit. And don't forget now, if tomorrow we'll be back at 9 o'clock. You going to Georgia. Okay. Bye-bye. Let me go and take a nap.
Same thing with
Ooh, stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Oh my God. Okay, let me end it. Let me end this a lot.